let's talk about matter. No, not the building blocks of life. We're talking about the open standard for smart home technology, of course. Since its inception in December 2019 by a working group called Project Connected Home over IP or CHIP, this open standard has grown and evolved to include the support of more and more devices, enhanced interoperability, and improved user experiences. So, how can you utilize Matter for your next design? Well, you could start with the Qorvo QPG6200. Hi, I'm Amelia Dalton, host of Chalk Talk. In this episode of Chalk Talk, Tim Allemeersch from Qorvo and I explore the challenges of matter application development and how Qorvo can help you navigate the landscape of matter development. We also investigate the benefits of Qorvo's QPG6200 IC and how you can get started using this integrated circuit for your next matter design. And before we get started, don't forget to click that link. There you can find even more information about this topic from Qorvo. Hi, Tim. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Amelia, for this opportunity to share a little bit more about Qorvo and the exciting products we are building to connect, protect, and power the planet. My name is Tim Allemeersch, and I am responsible for business development and customer support for our Connectivity Systems business unit. I will talk more about what products we built in this business unit in our conversation, but first, I think it's good to quickly introduce Qorvo. Our company tagline is all around you, and that is not a lie. You might not have heard of the Qorvo brand, but I bet the technology you use every day, such as your smartphone, your car, or your smartwatch, has some Qorvo silicon inside. We are a US headquartered company, and we focus on providing RF, wireless connectivity, sensors, and power solutions to our customers. We have about 6,100 employees and finished fiscal year 2024 with close to $4 billion revenue in annual sales. We're listed on the NASDAQ and have been twice recognized by the Global Semiconductor Alliance as the most respected company of our size.
Fantastic. So, talk to me about the mega trends at the heart of what we're talking about today.
Yes, if I were to describe in a single sentence what Qorvo does, and then linking that back to some of the mega trends we see, it is that we enable trillions of connections around the globe and ensure that those connections are powered efficiently. We focus on bringing efficiency to both RF as well as power so that our customers can be successful and can develop more reliable products faster. We cover a variety of applications, as you can see here. So Qorvo is at the very center of these key growth megatrends that are driving the planet. What we do is a unique product portfolio for each one of these segments. We provide solutions to our customers to help them solve the most difficult challenges in mobility, electrification, artificial intelligence, datafication, as well as connectivity.
Tim, smart living is at the center of our Chalk Talk today. So, talk to me about the various aspects that Qorvo is involved in within this space.
Our product portfolio covers a broad range of applications, ranging from motor control, battery management, a human machine interface, to connectivity products. And for each of these categories, Qorvo can provide unique and differentiated silicon to help our customers build products. In today's conversation, we will focus on connectivity, so the ones you see there in gray. And the Internet of Things has been driving a wave of connected products, both in residential as well as in industrial applications, and we've built a product portfolio around this. So within connectivity, we have seen major evolutions the last decade. You have seen the introduction of new technologies such as ultra-wideband, enabling secure access, precise location, and radar, as well as the introduction of new standards such as Matter. The introduction of Matter, the unified standard for smart home connectivity, has boosted the development and introduction of new connected products for customers. At Qorvo, we have been actively supporting these evolutions by participating in standard committees and by launching new silicon as well as software that will make it easier for product developers to launch IoT, products in the market. Most recently, we launched our QPG6200 product family, which is a multi-standard Matter, Thread, Zigbee, and Bluetooth Low Energy system on chip with best-in-class energy efficiency, powered by Qorvo's Concurrent Connect technology.
So, Tim, we've talked about Matter in the past here on Chalk Talk, but give us a brief rundown of Matter and its growth, particularly in consumer electronics.
Matter's promise is around a few key pillars. So, seamless interoperability, simplified user experience, robust security, privacy, and universal adoption. And if you combine all of these, you have what is needed to accelerate innovation in the smart home market. So let me start by looking at each of these pillars, and I will give you my opinion of the current state. Starting with interoperability, we see that customers are adopting Matter. However, they are looking for ways to seamlessly integrate their legacy ecosystems with the new Matter products. After all, you do not want the consumer to manually reconfigure or even worse, replace all their existing smart home devices to support the new standard. We believe that a silicon provider can improve this interoperability by providing silicon that is compatible with legacy as well as the new standards. The overall user experience has significantly improved. So with Matter, customers no longer need to download brand-specific applications or their smartphone or install a hub for each ecosystem. Moreover, the setup process is integrated directly into the major operating systems such as Android and iOS, making it very easy and seamless for the consumers. We also see that all major ecosystems, the one I already mentioned, Android and iOS, but several others have adopted Matter. Security, another very important aspect, and this is one aspect where Matter is very well set up to support all the regulations that are currently ongoing. By using Matter, product developers know that they are building upon a secure foundation and are well set up to be compliant with all these new regulations. Ultimately, this standardization and all the features that come in Matter mean that product developers no longer need to worry about basic connectivity and basic interoperability aspects. Instead, they can focus on innovation at the application level. So I'm really excited to see what kind of cool applications and products we'll be launching in the next couple of years.
Me too. Now, Matter has been adding new features since its inception. So, Tim, talk to me about the newest version of Matter and the features included in this specification.
The current version, Matter 1.4, was launched last year, further improving the user experience for end users and adding new device types. So talking a little bit about the improvements on user experience. Enhanced multi-admin was introduced. This makes smart home management easier with single user consent, enabling existing and new devices to connect to multiple ecosystems automatically. So if you, for instance, have an Android phone and an iOS phone, once you pair your devices using your Android operating system, can then automatically and more easily also be paired and commissioned into the Apple ecosystem without any additional consent. Matter certified HRAP devices, HRAP stands for Home Router and Access Points, provide the foundational infrastructure of smart homes by combining both a Wi-Fi access point and a Thread border router, ensuring any Matter device has the necessary infrastructure to connect. HRAP devices also feature a secure directory for storing and sharing Thread network credentials. This standardized approach makes it easier for users to add new Thread devices, including Thread border routers, to their existing Thread networks, rather than creating new ones, realizing the benefits of a unified Thread mesh network and reducing network fragmentation. Home energy management is emerging as one of the top reasons driving consumers to adopt smart home devices, according to recent research. Not only do consumers want to know how much energy each device and appliance in their home uses, they're also looking for routines and automations to help them save energy and decrease their energy bills. This becomes possible with the new device types and features introduced in Matter 1.4. Matter 1.4 expands its energy management capabilities by adding support for device types like solar panels, batteries, heat pumps, and water heaters. These additions, along with improvements to the energy management and thermostat clusters, pave the way for smarter, more automated energy management within the home. And then finally, Matter 1.4 introduces core enhancements that optimize battery life and communication for intermittently connected devices, like for instance switches, buttons, and sensors. Key updates include the long idle time protocol, which extends battery life, and a new check-in protocol to ensure reliable communication for low-power devices that require the long idle time protocol.
All right. So, Tim, what kind of challenges are you seeing in terms of matter development?
One of the challenges I mentioned earlier is the need to support legacy smart home systems. And many brands have a portfolio of existing products not using the Matter standard, but using another standard. Thinking of proprietary applications on top of Threads, or a Bluetooth application, or using the Zigbee standard. As a product manager for a brand that already has a legacy protocol in use, you need to define a transition strategy when introducing Matter, and that transition strategy needs to take into account a user experience for the end consumer as well as supply chain management constraints. For instance, most product managers, they will not want to introduce a new Matter specific product line while maintaining the legacy product. That would make their supply chain more complex. Instead, they prefer a single product that can support multiple standards and protocols. This requirement can also increase the complexity for product developers, which can then lead to product delays because the software development becomes more complex. Worst case also, if the user experience of how a product will combine legacy with the new Matter standard is not well thought of, it can lead to frustration at the end customer, who might not know how to install the new product in an existing smart home.
Okay, so let's dig into the multi protocol challenges you mentioned. We're looking at issues with backward and forward compatibility, right?
That is correct. And let me explain what that means with a few practical examples. So, looking at backwards compatibility, for instance, if you are a customer and you have a pre existing smart home lighting ecosystem, in this case, I have a light bulb and a switch, and it's using the Zigbee protocol. The application works perfectly fine. When I press the button on my switch, my light goes on or off. Now I go out and I buy a new light bulb, and this one assume it supports only Matter. If I come home and I try to commission that, it will not be able to communicate with my legacy Zigbee network, and my light switch that I already have installed will not be able to communicate with my Matter only light bulb. What you actually need is a light bulb that supports both Zigbee as well as Matter to enable you or to enable your light switch to communicate with both your legacy network as well as your new network.
Tim, what about forward compatibility?
This is another potential problem that product developers will have to solve. So, in this case, if you have a customer with an existing network, and that network consists of a few light bulbs, a few light switches, and the customer wants to add Matter functionality to that network from a hub side, well, if that hub only supports Matter, it needs to be able to talk to a Matter enabled device in your network. When you have a light bulb that can support both Zigbee as well as Matter, that light bulb can serve as an entry point for your Matter hub into your Zigbee network. So by having a light bulb that can support both protocols, you can start with a legacy network Zigbee enabled. And then when you buy a Matter hub, you connect using the Matter protocol to your existing network, enabling all the new use cases that Matter can offer and giving access to your home network from your Matter ecosystem.
All right. So, Tim, what solutions does Qorvo offer to deal with these challenges?
To solve these multi-protocol challenges, Qorvo developed its Concurrent Connect technology. The backwards and forward compatibility requires silicon that seamlessly can be part of multiple networks independently of the underlying physical channels and protocols. And this is where Qorvo's multi-radio and multi-channel features support product developers. Let me start with multi-radio. Multi-radio, built into the hardware of Qorvo silicon, enables a device to participate in a Bluetooth network as either a central or peripheral, and simultaneously as in Zigbee or Matter end node, router, or coordinator. This multi-radio technology enables listening for data on both protocols without any blind spot in data reception. An example of a use case here is when you have a device that needs to participate in a BLE mesh network simultaneously with a Matter network. Or another example, an IoT gateway that needs to be able to connect to Bluetooth sensors while also being a Zigbee or Matter coordinator. Similarly, multi-channel enables listening up to 3 IEEE 802.15.4 channels simultaneously without any blind spots. This enables devices that can be a router in a Zigbee network combined with being a router in a Matter network without having to force both your Zigbee and Matter network on a single channel, which from an installer's perspective would be very difficult to do, forcing all these devices on a single channel. As a cherry on the top, Concurrent Connect technology also provides the users antenna diversity for up to 8 dB improvement in the link budget and an advanced coexistence signaling, as well as a software API to configure coexistence with other radios in the customer design. All these features are built into the hardware, making it easy for developers to use them. There's no complex software configurations or complex time scheduling that the customer's application would have to implement to coexist into multiple networks.
Why should my audience keep Concurrent Connect in mind for their next application?
So in this example, there are 2 applications where it matters. So first, the hub. So the hub needs to support legacy devices in your home, as well as the new Matter devices. Moreover, Matter onboarding requires Bluetooth. A hub, therefore, must be able to support Bluetooth for onboarding, Matter for communicating with your devices, Matter devices, as well as Zigbee for communicating with any legacy standards. Traditional products would require multiple radios to deal with these requirements. So one for Bluetooth, one for Zigbee, and one for Matter over Thread. With Qorvo's Concurrent Connect, these features can be supported with a single chip, significantly reducing design complexity for the product developer. The second example is a light bulb. A light bulb supporting Concurrent Connect can support both Zigbee and Matter seamlessly, allowing product developers that need to support both standards to develop a single product, reducing their development effort. Also for the consumer, the story is simplified, as their bulb will work with any protocol and they do not have to select the right products in the store or even be aware of the differences in the product level. They just buy their product and it works.
That's fantastic. Tim, talk to me about the Qorvo QPG6200 IC. What benefits does this solution bring to the table?
The QPG6200 is the latest innovation for IoT connectivity from Qorvo. When we designed this chip, low power, as well as all the concurrency features we discussed about, were the 2 main criteria where we wanted to design this chip around. Our design team did an excellent job making this chip the best in class for energy efficiency for both sleep as well as active and receive current. For a consumer, this results in a longer battery life. Besides a longer battery life, we can also offer consumers additional flexibility in what energy source they use to power their device, even allowing IoT devices to use energy harvesting sources. So this silicon is your ideal design choice for Matter applications, and we support developers with pre-certified reference design and a whole set of development tools. So some of the key features of the QPG6200 are visible in the block diagram. The silicon supports 2 MB of non-volatile memory. This is for storing the user application as well as the communication stacks, and 336 kilobytes of RAM for the user application as well. The part has 3 CPU cores. There's one for the user application, one for the real-time radio behavior, and one for the secure element subsystem. Having the real-time radio split off from the user application allows for more flexibility and makes it easier for customers to build their application, as they do not need to take into account any time-critical radio code. You can also see here some energy performance numbers with industry-leading lowest received power consumption for Bluetooth Low Energy, Zigbee, and Thread for Matter.
Fantastic. Now, does Qorvo also offer a dev kit for this solution?
Yes, we offer a full suite of development tools for customers, starting with development boards, which are orderable through Mouser. The development board allows a customer to use our reference applications to get familiar with the platform and evaluate our Concurrent Connect differentiators. The development board can also be used by software developers to prototype their first applications, as well as by RF engineers to measure our RF performance. Together with these development boards, we offer a suite of software containing tools to program and debug, as well as provision the QPG6200 with secure assets. We also provide drivers for its peripherals, as well as communication stacks for Zigbee, Bluetooth Low Energy, and Matter. To guarantee ease of use, reference applications for Matter and Zigbee are included in the development kit. Developers have access to the application code in source, so they can easily modify it to their needs. For hardware designers, we deliver small footprint reference designs that customers can use as a starting point for their custom products. Overall, you will get a full development suite catering to the needs of both software as well as hardware developers to easily evaluate, quickly prototype, and build certifiable products.
Excellent. Well, Tim, I think that's all I have time for today. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Amelia.
And before we go, you didn't forget to click that link, did you? There you can find even more information about this topic from Qorvo. For Chalk Talks, I'm Amelia Dalton from eejournal.com. For more Chalk Talks, head on over to the Chalk Talk section of EE Journal. You can't miss it, it's right across the top. Or head on over to YouTube, youtube.com/EEJournal.